this morning. I am on the wrong page. Good morning. Did that. Welcome to the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Business Breakfast Series. My name is Joy. I'm Joy McKenna, Director of Marketing Communications at Maine General Health, former board chair, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here today. Before we begin our program this morning, I'd like to take a moment to thank our 2023 Business Breakfast Series sponsors. They are, in no particular order, AT&T, Cross Insurance, New Dimensions Federal Credit Union, Nicholson, Michaud, and NATO CPAs, O'Donnell, Lee, McCowan, and Phillips, Attorneys at Law, Sheridan Construction, Morning Sentinel, our print media sponsor, 107.9 The Mix, our radio sponsor, and Kennebec Savings Bank, our video sponsor. As a reminder, if you could please turn your cell phones off in consideration of our guests, and please don't forget to fill out your evaluation forms that you'll see on the table. It's very important. We always give that back to our presenter so they can take that back as feedback. We hope you're able to meet today's business spotlighters, BNA Waterville Chapter, and Aroma Joe's Winslow, who provided our coffee today. We have a few upcoming events we'd like to tell you about. I invite you to attend our February Business After Hours event. That is next Wednesday, February 15th, 5:30 to 7. It's hosted by Kennebec Savings Bank, and it's going to be held at the Waterville Lighthouse Soup Kitchen. That's at 38 College Avenue, right here in Waterville. There's additional parking available at the Elm. And please join us for our Meet the Reps on Wednesday, March 1st. That's going to be at Bricks Co-working. That's in the Hathaway at 10 Water Street in Waterville from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Our next business breakfast will be held right here on March 9th from 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join us for, as a presenter from Pro Search Recruiters shares strategies for developing and enhancing your brand and developing a recruiting and interviewing process that helps you identify qualified applicants to fit your team. Register today at www.midmainechamber.com. We have a fantastic speaker today, David Pease, who will be presenting on building and improving our professional networking skills. When you are asking questions, please wait until you get the microphone that Cindy will have on her so you can, we can capture your questions and everyone can hear that. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Michelle Joler-Labby. She is a VP of HR and Diversity at Thomas College, and she is our current Mid-Maine Chamber Board Chair. She will be introducing David. Michelle?
Thank you, Joy, and welcome everyone. It's so great to see all these faces here. It's a good crowd today. It's my pleasure to welcome David Pease. He's the Senior Vice President of Director of Talent, Diversity, and Inclusion at Bangor Savings Bank. His HR career spans 35 plus years in business, nonprofit, healthcare, academia, and corporate America. He has a master's degree in human resources management from Lesley University and a BS in political science and communications from the University of Southern Maine. David has earned the Senior Professional in Human Resources and the Senior Certified Professional National designations. David has been on the faculty of the Maine HR Convention and served as an adjunct faculty member at Thomas College's graduate school. David is a former state director of Maine SHRM, that's Society of Human Resource Management, and received the Distinguished Maine HR Leader of the Year Award and the Kenneth Curtis Leadership Award from Maine Development Foundation for his statewide leadership contributions and impact. David was selected the Unsung Hero of the Year by Propel for creating a safe and inclusive work culture for people and has served on numerous boards to advance workforce development, education, and equity. He is a frequent speaker at the state and national conferences. David serves as mentor and coach to numerous professionals in all stages of their careers. He also has a very impressive shoe collection. Please join me in welcoming my friend, David Pease.
Wow, that was something. I do have a great shoe collection. We have to work on our brand, right? That we're going to be talking about brand today regarding networking. So the great news is all of you have been networking this morning, right? Every single one of you were talking with people, so you were networking. But how many of you love networking? How many of you like really love networking? Raise your hands high. Wow, this is a pretty good group because usually it's about 3 hands. So you guys have got some master networkers here. But we all network, right? We all network, but like public speaking and flying and snakes and spiders, people don't like networking. You know, people get really hung up on networking. And so that's gonna be where we start. So what are some of your barriers to being a great networker? What are some of the things that maybe get in your way in terms of why networking isn't comfortable for you or why you're not like a natural networker? So I'm gonna give you like 10 seconds to think about that. And then I'm gonna ask you to be really vulnerable and share with someone at your table what's your barrier. All right? So share with one person at the table what's the barrier for you in networking. Go.
I'm afraid of talking too much. I will not shut up.
I was thinking you were really quiet, and then I'm like, wow, we're gonna put you up front. We're gonna put you up front.
I'm also loud.
I'm like, somebody matches my volume. I love it. All right, has everybody had a chance to share a barrier? This is the hard part about this format is it takes a while to get everyone back. So I did, and you're gonna keep doing it. So, all right, so if I can have everyone's attention. So congratulations, you were just networking. It wasn't that hard, right? But again, today what we're just gonna talk about is how to become more of an epic networker. It doesn't mean you're gonna be perfect. I do a lot of networking, but sometimes I leave an event going, ew, that wasn't that great. You know, I realized as I walked in, I forgot to wear my name tag. So even the most epic network folks aren't perfect. And this is not about being perfect. It's just about making sure that you are optimizing your ability to network with people because people are really important to us. So yeah, we'll just spend a minute on the what, whys, who's, and where's. So, I mean, I think we know, you know, the what of networking, right? It really is about, we do need people. People need us. Networking is about us sharing knowledge, sharing ideas, and I think that's what a lot of people do. They think they're doing a sales pitch. They think they're asking for things. But I think if you change the equation to what can I give to others? What can I'm here today because I feel like I have a little knowledge that I can share with you. I'm not here to get anything from you. But I am interested in connecting with you. I'm willing to share information with you. And maybe in the future, you can share information with me. But I'm not here to get something from you, right? And I think if you just kind of go into, okay, I want to meet some new people. I want to make sure that I'm sharing my information. And then the best and most important part of networking, right, is about reconnecting and making sure that the people you know, the people that are part of your network, are people that actually you get to talk to every now and again. 2 of my friends who I've known for a long time, we haven't seen each other in person for several years now. So it's lovely to see them, but obviously we've been seeing each other on social media. We've been seeing, Chris and I were just on a Zoom meeting together. So again, we need to remember that especially in post-COVID world, right, we're going to be networking in person. So this to me is a treat, so thank you, Mid-Maine Chamber, for putting this together. We are now going to be connecting via Zoom, and clearly social media is something. So we need to kind of understand, we have to use different techniques for each kind of format, but it's all just about you saying, I have something to share with you. Let's talk some more. All right. So again, what the big thing I want to remind you, I'm not sure why this is going up like that. Whoops. So again, basically it's every day, everywhere, with everyone all the time. So you network all the time, right? You network with family members, you network with colleagues, when you see people in the store, when you go to church. I mean, all of that is networking. So again, but don't take those relationships for granted, right? Remember that each person that you know and you've experienced the world and the life with is someone you can share information and someone you can gain information. So that I think is the most important part, is never to take those relationships for granted. If you haven't talked to somebody for a while, just reach out and say, Chris, I haven't seen you. And we did that. We did that just kind of on social media and just keeping up on people's lives and what's going on with them, so that when you actually get to see them in person, you can sort of say, oh, I just saw this happen to you. I see you're traveling again. I see you ate out again for the 500th night in a row. And I'm loving your new shoes. So whatever it is that's your brand and whatever it is that you're sharing, then when you actually see each other in person, you can connect up on that. All right. So we don't want to listen to me talk about networking. We want you to network, because it's really about doing it, right? Networking is not about learning tons of strategies, and it's definitely not about hearing me talk for the next however many minutes. So that's the other thing, Chamber. If you need to cut me off, just give me like 5 minutes so I can wrap it up. So I know, yeah, oh good, you got the numbers right there, fabulous. So, but this is really about you try to practice, right? Because to me, practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the easier it is. So we're gonna just do it. So I'm gonna ask you, how do we start? What's just an interesting question you like to know about people? Like when you're kind of meeting somebody for the first time, or something that you use, we got some HR people here, so is that they're a probing question you love to use just to get to know somebody. So I'm just gonna give you kind of information, I'm just gonna give you a minute to think about, like, what's the one probing question you would like to ask somebody to get to know them better? And so as you're thinking about that, the second thing is what is so fascinating about you that a lot of people don't know and would be surprised to learn? All right, so I'm asking you to think about two things. A great question to ask somebody else, and then something interesting about yourself, something that maybe a lot of people don't know, but something you think is pretty cool and pretty amazing, and you're willing to share it with somebody today. All right? So, once you have those in mind, I would ask you to talk to maybe a different person than you did last time and ask them that interesting question and tell them that really fascinating thing about yourself. All right? Let's go. Hey, well, we're good at interview questions. We may not be good at people questions, right?
See, that's
People are networking. See,
This is the most talking I've ever heard them do.
but you don't even need me. You just need somebody to say talk. All right. Everyone. Can I get everybody's attention? I know, you don't need me anymore. I've only been here for a few seconds and you already don't need me. All right, can I have everybody's attention? All right, bring it back. I need like bells and whistles, I guess. All right. Wow. I can just leave. You guys have got it, right? You guys have got it, right? That's all I'm saying. It's not that hard, right? I mean, it was really hard to actually, it was actually hard to stop it, right? Because the energy and the laughter, there was a lot of laughter, right? I mean, you have to feel safe. You have to feel safe with each other to laugh, right? I mean, you guys are being incredibly vulnerable. You're sharing a lot. You're having fun. And who would have, before you came in this morning, who would have thought like, networking is fun? Some of you wouldn't have thought that. That was pretty fun, right? But that's the thing. You don't need to hear me. You just need to sometimes say, I need to have a great conversation with people. Sometimes you just need to sit at the table and say, hey, let's talk. Let's laugh, right? So, I mean, it's about trying not to put the barriers and the obstacles that prevent us from doing this, right? We go to a business, function like a chamber event, and we think we have to be super professional, and we've got to only talk about business. And I mean, again, talking about business is important, but getting to know people on a personal level, knowing that we're human beings, knowing that the world's pretty crazy right now, and it's going pretty fast. And sometimes this is for business, but sometimes this is just for you, right? Sometimes this is just for you to get a break from work for a second, to connect with another human being. So again, take these opportunities. I mean, it's really about just when you have an opportunity to interact with people, take it. And so often we put barriers into really connecting on a human level. So again, it's all about connection. And I think the other thing is you don't have to be brilliant at this. Nobody's asking you to be the face of networking. But for you, for your careers, it's pretty important and even personal. So like currently, how many of you maybe got your current job based upon networking about somebody you knew? All right, so about half. How many people are in a relationship where you met that person through a networking event that could either be online or in a personal way, right? So a lot of relationships, that is how it happens. So again, this is a really important skill for us in life and to really make sure that our lives are most fulfilled. All right, so plans. You guys are business people, so I know you know how to do plans. How many people came with a plan around people you wanted to meet today, people you wanted to reconnect today? How many people came to this breakfast with a plan in mind? Fabulous, we got a couple. Again, if you prepare, you're going to be more comfortable doing it, right? So pretty much every time I'm going to an event, I usually set very specific goals for people I want to meet or the types of people I want to meet. And then I always have a commitment to talk and reconnect or dig deeper in existing relationships I already have. And then sometimes you do that plan and sometimes you're surprised. So I saw a former student when I first walked in. I saw a colleague from Portland. She drove all the way from Portland. And she and I know each other, I think, by brand and by reputation. And we just, this morning, had really what I would call a really human moment where we shared about how we couldn't really be our genuine, authentic selves at the beginning part of our careers and our lives. But in these later years, we can be our authentic self. For me, I worked in corporate America. I got to wear a suit and white shirt and blue tie for 30 years. And that's not me. I was a penguin. I was a penguin with all the other penguins. As you can see, now that I work for an organization that allows me to be my authentic self, I can let the inner peacock come out. but this is who I've always been, right? This is who I've always been. And other than at the HR convention, I couldn't really do this at work. So this is another part of us, is this networking allows us to be our authentic self. And it's really, this is one of the things that I think is really important, because we do sometimes put on a business front. And sometimes that prevents us from getting to know one another, right? So it's really important to use opportunities like this to not only build business connections, but to, again, get to know each other personally. You know, what Nancy and I just shared this morning, even though we've known each other, I think this moment will be something we'll remember, and it will be something that will resonate with us every time we see each other again. So that by just having that one moment with somebody, it can really make a huge difference in that relationship forever. So again, planning is, you know, pretty important. So again, we're gonna have you do a little planning. So I want you to think about, even those of you who did not come in with a goal in mind, now that you know that goal setting is a good, important step for networking, now set a goal for yourself. What do you want to accomplish today? What is your goal for today's session in terms of networking? So a personal goal you want to accomplish today. And now share it with somebody new. And hopefully you can even fulfill that goal by this interaction with somebody.
Well, my goal was not to talk about Transformers, but
All right, so go. You can change tables, you know.
Oh, goal. Honestly, my goal is just trying to get used to everything. It's the first time I've been to an event like this, so taking in the atmosphere and trying to be like fast and happy to talk is all I'm doing today. That's okay. I almost prefer it when it's louder. It makes my life a lot easier.
for me, it's like, you know, I just have to be focused. You know, I have to focus, otherwise everyone is coming at me and
It might just mean that my ears are tied, but also when it's loud, understandable there too. No, yeah, no, if you put me like in the performance, that part's easy. You don't have to get off the stage and talk about that. It all comes together.
Right. You have the stage as a barrier.
Exactly. You can turn it into a performance instead of a conversation. It's a safety. Exactly.
And actually, that is very how, that's how I pretty much face it through school. Okay, I'm gonna perform like a normal person. It's like, oh good, finally someone who, you know, like acknowledges and is doing it for me.
Everyone's having fun, right? All right, everybody, I want to come back. You guys have got this down, it's so smooth now. It's like all just flowing. So yeah, so I gotta kind of create a little more chaos in the room. There's not enough chaos in the room. All right. So again, as we've already learned, I'm not the expert in the room. You all are the experts in the room, okay? So we're gonna do, really, this is gonna be totally chaotic. So let's listen to me. You're going to pick one partner, so one person at your table. You guys are now a team of two. And your objective is to now move from your table. And your pair is going to team up with another pair in another part of the room. So you can't team up with people in your, so now you will be a team of four. And if it's an odd number, you'll be a team of five, right? And there's going to be kind of two things you're going to just share in your groups of 4 or 5. What strategies do you find beneficial in terms of meeting new people? What are some of the things that you do? So part of why we're doing this, so let me probably explain what we're trying to do. I think a lot of times in networking, we think we're alone, right? We think we have to do it alone. And for those people who maybe are more quiet, for those people who aren't as naturally socially, sometimes we don't do it. And it's really easy just to find a friend, to find somebody you know. When I go to new markets, like when I started working in the Lewiston market in banking, I didn't know anyone in Lewiston. And I grabbed some people who knew everybody in Lewiston. And I just followed them, right? So for like the first 2 or 3 events, I just followed these people who knew everyone. And so by the second event, I kind of knew everyone. So then, by the 4th event, I was comfortable going in by myself. But don't feel like you have to do this alone, right? This is not like a solo sport. I mean, this really can be done in pairs. Sometimes it makes it easier for pairs. Sometimes if you pair with somebody who has complementary or different skill sets than you, then one of you may resonate more with people than others, right? And also, you always have a party, right? Like, people actually feel much more comfortable when they kind of join a group and can fit in. Like, because you don't want to be the one in the corner by yourself, right? Like, that's what a lot of people fear is, I'm going to be all by myself, and they're all going to be looking at me. But if you go in with somebody, you can create your own party. So that's what you guys are going to do. You're going to create your party. So find a pair. Then you're going to be 2 groups of pairs, and you're going to talk about, like, what do you find successful for you in terms of meeting new people? So the first question is, just kind of what has worked for you in terms of meeting people the first time? What are some of the things you've done that have been successful? And then the second question is, how do you really continue to rebuild, to go deeper in relationships with people you already know? What are some of the strategies you use to take the relationship you have and try to bring it to a deeper level? Okay? So you're just kind of working in these pairs now of 4 to kind of come up with some of those strategies. All right? So total chaos. Is there a question? Was there a question? All right, so pairs and get up and go to another part of the room. And I should be taking pictures, right?
I'll send you any pictures that I take
fabulous.
today. So
Fabulous.
I worked at the Sentinel for 40 years, so I know all these people.
Absolutely. All right, I want a picture. Because we got to do a post, right? We got to be promoting this.
Very social. Then sometimes with social media, like we're professional, that's where I started. So like it's just a thing of really like it's definitely more fun than others.
What do you think when you work?
I feel like
I find, you know,
We do have local forms for a while.
Hi.
I'm Cheryl Llewellyn. I took one of your classes at Thomas
You
years
did.
ago. Yes.
I know I'm seeing a couple of
Yes.
students, which is fabulous.
Yes. So this is great. It's nice to see you again.
It's wonderful to see you as well.
Sounds like everything's going well.
It's going well and
Good.
still creating energy, right?
That's right. I think you had just started with Bangor Savings when you did. The summer class that I took with you was just when you transitioned jobs.
Yes,
Was that-
I think because that was that might have been my last summer.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because it was just too hard because I had moved to also Portland. I used to live in Belgrade, so when I was in Belgrade, it was really easy.
Right.
But yeah, when I was in Portland and going to Bangor a lot, it was just really too hard. I'm on the board now at Thomas, and I'm still very involved.
Good. Good. We need people like you. So good.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
So nice seeing you. Thanks for reintroducing yourself. All right. Let's see if we.
I'll have to use my knife again.
Yeah, we're gonna need the knife. And we should. Are you willing to go out, or do you want me to go out with this? Just to. I'm just gonna ask people if they have some strategies. They
Yep.
think. All right, everyone. Can we get everyone's attention? All right. So, did anyone come up with an amazing strategy? We have a microphone here. Would anyone like to talk publicly to the group? What strategies did you come up with? What did you learn? Anything that was new for you? Any new learnings?
Just ask questions.
Ask questions. People kind of like to talk about themselves. They say they really don't. But like if you're curious and you ask people questions,